Hello students, this is a consolidation video on the grammar item Connectives of reason, purpose, and result. First of all, let's take a look at the connectives of reason we've learned. We've learned because, as, since, because of, and due to. A very quick recap. The three connectives, because, as, and since, are interchangeable most of the time. All three connectives link two clauses together in a sentence. The clause that follows the connective is the reason. When we use as or since, we can also put the connective and the reason in front and separate the two clauses with a comma. On the other hand, we use because of and due to differently. After the connectives because of and due to, we write the reason in the form of a noun phrase. While because of and due to are interchangeable, they are not interchangeable with because, as, or since. After because, as, or since, we need a complete clause with the subject and the verb. Next, let's recap the connectives of result. The connectives of result we have learned are so, therefore, and as a result. We mention the result of an action or an incident after the connectives so, therefore, and as a result. The three connectives are used quite differently. We use so after a comma, and we use therefore to start a new sentence. Similarly, we use as a result to start a new sentence usually. For therefore and as a result, we can also use it after a semicolon. Interestingly, we can put therefore after the subject for emphasis. In this case, we put commas before and after the connective. For example, my parents find hiking relaxing. They, therefore, hike at least once a week. We do not use the connectives of reason and result at the same time together. For example, we say, as she doesn't know how to say no, she's always stressed out from pleasing people. We never say, as she doesn't know how to say no, so she's always stressed out from pleasing people. Remember, we use either one only in one sentence. Next, let's recap connectives of purpose. The connectives of purpose we've learned are in order to and so that. We put the purpose after the connectives in order to and so that. Note that after in order to, we use a verb in base form. Meanwhile, after so that, we use subject plus verb structure. We can also put in order to in front of a sentence. However, we do not put so that at the front of a sentence. The negative forms are in order not to, so as not to, and so that not. Now, let's do an exercise and see how much you have remembered. Hi Tom, I called yesterday, but you didn't answer. What happened? Oh, I'm so sorry. I was out hiking. I couldn't hear my phone ring. Here, couldn't hear phone ring is a result of out hiking. So here we need to use a connective for result. Since the connective is in the middle of the sentence, linking two clauses, here we use so. Note that the answer is not so that because couldn't hear the phone is not the purpose of Tom going out hiking. I went outdoors with my friends. The weather was so good. So here, the weather being so good is the reason for Tom to go outdoors with his friends. So here we need a connective for reason. Well, we observe after the connective there is a structure of subject plus verb. So here we do not use because of or due to. Instead, we can use because, as, or since. It is really nice to go hiking. I had some bad luck when I went hiking last time though. I brought my new camera. take some pictures. Alright, so taking some pictures would be the purpose for Mary to bring the new camera. So here we need a connective, talking about purpose. And we can see that after the blank, there is a verb in base form, take. Therefore, here we do not use so that to show purpose. Instead, we use in order to or so as to. However, I dropped it off the hill accidentally. And then Tom said, "Oh dear." Mary said, "I know, right? You know, when I go outdoors now, I keep my things close to myself. They won't be lost or even stolen easily." So here, they means my things. My things won't be lost or even stolen easily would be the purpose of Mary to keep things close to herself. Should we use in order to, so as to, or so that? Now here, the purpose, they won't be lost, is in a subject plus verb structure. It is a clause. Therefore, we use so that here in the blank. So moving on, Mary continues to say, "By the way, will you compete in the swimming competition tomorrow?" Tom said, "I wanted to, but I'm not joining. My skin problem." So here, Tom is not joining. What's the reason behind? His skin problem. So his skin problem is a reason. Therefore, we cannot use because, as, or since, because these three connectives are used with subject plus verb clauses behind them. We use due to or because of here. Alright, then Tom continues to say, blah blah blah, make it worse, I won't do any water sports till I recover. So Tom said he will not do any sports related to water for the purpose of not making the skin problem worse. So making the skin problem worse is the purpose. We should use in order to instead of so that here in the blank. Reading the meaning more carefully, we know that we need a negative form of in order to. So here the answer should be in order not to. In order not to make it worse, I won't do any water sports till I recover, said Tom. Mary continues to say, "Oh, will you be watching next to the pool, though?" So Tom is not swimming, but Mary's asking whether Tom will still sit next to the venue. So Tom said, "Definitely, I will be there. Support my friends who will be competing." So Tom is going to be there for what? The purpose is to support his friends who will be competing. So the part support my friends would be a purpose. Again, support is in verb base form. In the middle of the sentence, we can use either in order to or so as to. Tom continues, "Also, I will bring my camera. I can take pictures for them." Again, take pictures would be a purpose of bringing his camera. Here, the purpose is in subject plus verb form. So rather than using in order to or so as to, we use so that here to talk about purpose. Tom then said, "I really like the atmosphere of the swimming gala. I don't mind just sitting that day." Don't mind just sitting is a result of liking the atmosphere. Here the connective is in the middle of a sentence linking two clauses in front and after. Therefore, we use so. Then Mary says, "Let me know when you arrive. I will be working at the spectator stand too." Why should Tom let Mary know when he arrives that day? Well, the reason is Mary will be there too, and probably they want to meet up and chat a little bit on that day. So we are talking about a reason here. We should use a connective for reason. Pay attention, I will be working is in the subject plus verb format. Therefore, we are not using due to or because of. Instead, we can use because, as, or since. Well, we have finished filling in all the 10 blanks in this exercise. I hope you now have a better understanding of the different connectives included in this video. Goodbye.